I grew up a Boston sports fan. I was a huge Celtics fan growing up. Me and my dad would go to the Garden, and of course we would go to Fenway Park. Now, I grew up with some of the Red Sox greats. Nomar Garciaparra, Mo Vaughn, just to name a few. And the guy we have with us on the line right now, what a great career he had from 95 to 2012. Won a World Series with my Boston Red Sox and oh boy, the New York Yankees. I didn't grow up a Yankees fan, but that's okay. We love this guy, and I've always been a big fan of his, and he's so nice enough to join us, Johnny Damon. Johnny, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Johnny?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys, and I'm glad we could win that World Series title back in 2004.
That was fun.
Year. Yeah,
that was very, very special, and I watched every second of it. And we appreciate, as Red Sox fans, we appreciate everything you did for that organization. I heard a rumor, and I appreciate the fact. Did you change a golf tee time for us? Is that true?
Yeah, I just pushed it back 10 more minutes, so I am all set. I'm just sitting in my car. I warmed up already. I mean, I played some tennis and just got done about 30 minutes ago, so I'm tired. So I'm enjoying my air conditioning in the car right now, so it's all good.
What is the Johnny Damon handicap on the golf course? How good of a golfer are you?
Oh, man, I am a good time. That's all I could say. I mean, I was a 12 last April, and I really got bad. So I'm on my way back to a 12, but I'm also missing my trips to Las Vegas as well because, we normally go out for Derek Jeter's golf tournament over at Shadow Creek. And obviously a lot of stuff has been canceled, and we're missing Las Vegas. And, we're obviously hoping everybody's doing great out there. And,
no question.
I mean, what a crazy time.
Yeah, no, you're right, Johnny. It is a crazy time. And I guess you mentioned the things we're missing. As you know, we're missing Major League Baseball as well. I mean, what do you make of this, that ESPN is playing, the Korean Baseball League at weird times of the night? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great to see live baseball. And those guys, some of those guys have played in the majors. They're very good players. But how weird is this, Johnny, to see like a Korean baseball game live at 2:30 in the morning and no Major League Baseball?
Yeah, it's very strange. And there's no fans. There's, I guess you can say fake fans. I mean, it's so strange because it's the fans are what made it or what makes the game. I mean, I got used to being booed every time I took the field, and like these players are going to get off easy. There's no more screaming at them. And it actually hurt the guys' feelings now. Like back in the day, you couldn't come back and say that guy made fun of me. It's a different world, and playing with no fans, I think that's going to be very strange. But how could you get baseball going back up in the Boston area or New York? I mean, the pandemic is absolutely crazy there. I mean, it's I'm not sure what they're going to do. I mean, I know Las Vegas probably can take on some major league teams. Florida, obviously, Arizona. So it's going to be tough on what they decide what they're going to do.
What do you think? As a former player, and obviously, I'm sure you talk to a lot of guys that are still in the league and that have retired, and even some management. What is your sense, Johnny Damon, of what you think is going to happen here, and when we'll actually see baseball with or without fans?
Well, I really think they can get going by June 1st. I mean, these guys pretty much had 7 weeks of spring training. It was cut short by about 10 days, and I've got to think most of these guys are staying in pretty good shape. I think the toughest thing is making sure a pitcher's arm is 100%, but they are doing the right thing. Hopefully they can expand rosters to 30 each, and I'll start getting ready myself.
Yeah. We all want to see live Major League Baseball, whether it's on television or in person. We'd rather see it in person as fans, but we want to see some baseball. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Johnny Damon, won a World Series with the Red Sox and the Yankees. Incredible career. He's got a couple more questions for him, then he's going to get a tee time. I'm actually playing golf later today myself, actually.
At Shadow Creek?
Not at Shadow Creek.
Not at Shadow Creek.
Johnny, I'm not as important as you are. I've only played Shadow Creek once, and that's when they had the Michael Jordan golf tournament there, and they had a media day, so they let me on the course. But other than that, it is a beautiful golf course. I want to ask you quickly about the Houston Astros. What did you make of that whole situation of this scandal? Do you think Major League Baseball handled it right? Because I don't think they've, as a former player, do you think other players should be held accountable? Because really none of these guys have been held accountable, at least for Major League Baseball.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like the championship should have been stripped from them. Like, I wish I would have known what pitch was coming.
Right.
Exactly.
My entire career. And look at what happened. Like, a lot of guys lost their jobs. A lot of guys lost out on some money, while the Houston Astros players, you know, they win an MVP, they win a World Series, they get big contracts. They benefited so much from the scandal, and it just hurt a bunch of people. I mean, I had a really good year in 2011 with Tampa Bay. I could not get a job until May 1st.
Wow.
I definitely would have been ready, but definitely not cheating the game, or
right.
Maybe the Astros would have been interested in me, but because I'm a veteran player, we don't play the game that way. And a lot of guys didn't get jobs and didn't get opportunities because they know a lot of guys aren't going to buy into that. They're just not buying into it. And
Johnny,
it's unfortunate.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I know a lot of other former players and current players agree with you as well. I want to ask you this, and this might be a hard question for you to answer. What do you think you would have batted over the course of your career if you knew the exact location of where a pitch was supposed to be and the type of pitch that was coming?
Well, I'm going to be very soft on it because I know it's still very hard to hit a baseball, but easily 330 to 360, 370, and more home runs and more production and bigger contracts and all that good stuff. I mean, knowing what's coming definitely helps out. I mean, it's. I think this is worse than the steroid era. I mean,
I totally agree with that because with steroids, you still a guy like Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, he took steroids, yes, but you still have to have that hand-eye coordination to hit that ball. You still have to have an idea, of what's going to happen before you hit that ball. And you mentioned how people actually lost their jobs. We had the attorney of Mike Bolsinger on. Mike Bolsinger, he played for the Blue Jays, I believe, in 2018 or 19. And he had one outing against the Astros, and it was so bad. I think he had 27 pitches. They scored 5 runs. They had like 11 hits. I don't think he even got one out. And he basically was kicked out of Major League Baseball. He believes that it cost him definitely that contract as well as a contract the next year. So and a lawsuit is going to come out of that. Do you think more lawsuits come out of that? And also, what are your thoughts on how Rob Manfred has handled it as the commissioner?
I have a lot of respect for Rob. I think he should have stripped them. I mean, that's my opinion. I know all the Houston fans don't agree with that. Some do. But, I mean, think about a bullpen pitcher. You're going to get a job if your ERA is under 3. But if you have one bad inning for a bullpen pitcher, like he gave up 5 runs in that one inning, it very well could shoot up to 7.5. And there is no way you're getting a job during the offseason because teams are going to look at your ERA and say, you know what, this guy just doesn't have it. And it was the game that the Astros cheated and scored 5 runs off of them. And bullpen pitchers, I mean, it's real tough for them to keep jobs anyways. I mean, they have to be ready all the time, but no one wants a guy with a 7 ERA in their bullpen. It just doesn't happen.
Johnny, I got a couple of questions for you. First of all, Brian mentioned they've been playing some Korean baseball on TV on ESPN, but I've also seen a lot of these replays from like the 03, 04 games, Red Sox, Yankees, some classic matchups. Do you watch any of those? And if so, what do you think when you watch them?
I think it's great. I have 8 kids at home, and a bunch of my kids did not have the opportunity to watch me play Major League Baseball.
Wait, you have 8 kids?
4 kids. Yeah, I've had 4 kids since I've been done playing, and those are the kids. Like they're twin 8-year-olds and a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, so they never really got to see me play. So a lot of times when I see it on TV, I like to stop and let them see what I did. Obviously, I like to pick the really good games and not the bad games, so they have a great opinion of their father.
That's cool, man. Hey, well, another question. It's a non-baseball question, but I have to ask because I keep seeing this commercial running on TV that you're doing for Eckrich Turkey, and you describe your perfect sandwich, and it's turkey, it's pepperoni, I believe, banana peppers on there, maybe some potato chips on top. And I have to say, man, I'm a very impressionable guy when it comes to food, and you describing that sandwich makes me really want to actually go out, buy that meat, and assemble that sandwich and eat just like Johnny Damon. Is there anything you want to say about that sandwich or your affiliation with Eckrich Turkey?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I know somebody started bashing me because I like American cheese. I mean, it's my sandwich that I'm making. It's not.
It's your
yours.
sandwich.
Like, people have different opinions. American cheese is easy to get. It tastes good to me. So somebody was ragging on me. I was like, come on, it's me. It's not you. So
exactly. And I'm going to defend you, man. It sounds delicious.
Oh, it is. And we had so much fun shooting the commercials last year, I believe, around March. And they did such a great job. And I'm hoping all the factories get back to being open soon because I know the distribution of meat is going to be pretty slow for the next couple months.
Yeah. Johnny, I want to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about your foundation, the Johnny Damon Foundation. You've done so many great things in your foundation. You've helped so many people. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and the lives that you touched with this?
It's fantastic. It's the Johnny Damon Foundation. I didn't come from much, and I've always did my best to give back. Early on with the foundation, we put 2 wounded warriors into brand new homes. We also are building a Boys and Girls Club as we speak in Winter Garden, Florida. And
That's
we
great.
just help out a lot of charities who need help, who need assistance. And we're going to keep on fighting the fight and keep on trying to do the right thing.
So we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we've just been, our economy has just been, decimated, especially through unemployment, because obviously we depend on tourism. You're actually in Windermere, Florida, which is 22 minutes away from Orlando, Florida, where there's Disney World, and there's a lot of dependence on tourism. How bad has Orlando and the area that you live in been affected by by COVID-19 from a tourism and just an economical perspective with job loss, et cetera?
Yeah, well, for the tourism, I mean, that's our livelihood. I believe the airports are 5% full. A lot of the hotels are closed. A lot of people lost their job. And there is no sign of reopening the theme parks yet. I know they're thinking about June 1st, but we have to try to get machines in place. I know there's some companies out there now, like Remark, who makes scanners. And hopefully they can come out with a bunch of these scanners and start scanning. It's like facial recognition. Hopefully they can start scanning people's faces so they know one day when you go to work, your temperature is 98. The next day you go, if they see a 99 or a spike, they can, tell you don't show up for a couple of days. But there's all these scanners coming out, and I think it's going to be very effective going forward, especially for theme parks, for restaurants, for casinos. So, hopefully technology catches up real quick and we can get our economy back quickly and safely.
Sure.
But I still know the Northeast, man, they're just going to be absolutely crushed for some time, and hopefully it doesn't spike again soon.
No question. Johnny, I know you got a tea time. We appreciate your time. Before I let you go, really quick question. You're Johnny Damon. Who's the most famous person you've ever played a round of golf with, quickly, that you can tell us, maybe a quick story?
Oh my God, there's so many. I mean, Larry the Cable Guy. It's always a great time. I always go to these golf tournaments where Joe Namath is there.
Oh, wow.
There's so many. Ray Romano, Bodie Miller, and the long drive guys. They are both from Orlando, Florida, so it's not too fun when I try to hit against these guys. Like, I've got to hit my driver against their pitching wedge, so it's not too much fun. Like, they're hitting their pitching wedges like 230 yards, and it's just not fair. But it's fun to watch, and
that is awesome.
Hopefully, those guys' careers get back on track, because I know they canceled all the long drive championships too. But I think that's something that could work out, and I also think golf can work out quicker than most sports. So hopefully we put some smart people together and figure things out, and I think we can get back really soon. We just have to keep on being careful.
No doubt. I just wanted to mention that we have a mutual friend. That would be Brett Raymer from Tanked. I know he did a good job going to your Brett's a great guy, and he did a great job with the tank in your house, right, that he set up. And I know he wanted to say hello to you as well. He's a great guy, as you are, Johnny. You represented Boston and New York very well. You're a class act. You continue to do great things for people since you've retired, and we really do appreciate you taking some time to join us. I want you to put up like a 68 today for us, all right? Go like 3 or 4 deep and let us know about it, all right?
Yeah, 68 for the first 9. Is that what we're talking
about? With your eye-hand coordination, Johnny, I expect more from you. Seriously, I'm gonna say you shoot 78 today. I think that's very reachable for you. I think you can do that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure I count those close putts too.
Just like Donald Trump, just take a couple mulligans. Now, Johnny, in all seriousness, appreciate your time, man. Yeah, exactly. Johnny, you're the best, my man. I hope we. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I played golf with Trump years ago. It was Trump and David Wright versus me and Derek Lowe. So New York versus Boston, and Derek couldn't figure out his game like the first 9 holes. So I was keeping us close. Donald shot a 68, and on TV they made it look like he shot a 70, 71, but he drained every single putt. It was unbelievable. This was probably back in 2005.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah, he tore us up. Plus his golf courses.
So you're saying that a 57-year-old Donald Trump shot 2 under par?
That's impressive.
Oh, it was unreal. I mean, Derek Lowe and I were just sitting back going, how is he draining all these putts? And, I mean, he took it to us. And good thing we didn't have his kind of money, because there's no way we could have put down a bet on him.
Right.
Yeah, he plays pretty good. And
I have to ask you this, though.
So he has to be pretty good.
I have to ask, since you brought him up real quick before I let you go, if somebody told you in 2005 that he would be the president of the United States, what would you have said back then?
I would say what I said after he started running, I was like, why are you going to ruin your life? You know, you have such a great life, what you're doing. And as you can see, I mean, he gets torn apart constantly. And, he's the only one who can defend himself. So I told him, don't ruin your life. And he's enjoying being president. And hopefully we can get everything back on track.
No, I'm with you, man. All right, have fun playing golf. We really do appreciate your time. Thank you for spending time with us, Johnny. Hope to talk to you again sometime. Enjoy it out there. Have a great one.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thanks a lot, Johnny.